May the 26th, 1989 is a date that resonates with Arsenal fans everywhere. On that famous night, the top two went head-to-head at Anfield, with Arsenal needing to beat Liverpool by 2 goals to win the title. Michael Thomas booked his place in Arsenal folklore with the stoppage time strike, which took the trophy back to Highbury for the first time in 18 years. It remains the most dramatic finale in English Championship history.
And when it went in, well, you see my reaction and how much it meant to me and the players. It was such a great evening.
I don't remember because 3 big men cuddled me. Everyone was going ballistic.
I just remember crying and jumping on him and then realising that we still had a game to play because the final whistle hadn't gone.
He just took his time and typical Mickey, waited for Grobbelaar to make his move and flicked it over him. So, I mean, it was bedlam after that.
26th of May, that day was the day the fortress was broke.
And tonight we're in the plush surroundings of the Woolwich Suite at Emirates Stadium to celebrate the 20th anniversary of that momentous triumph and to raise as much money as possible for the Teenage Cancer Trust and the Willow Foundation. Many of those Arsenal legends are here tonight to reminisce, and while the faces may seem a little older, the memories of Anfield '89 are as fresh as ever.
Yeah, old, yeah, you're right, they are old. But it is nice to catch up. We don't do it enough. So to see some of the old boys, it's great. Have a chat about old times and that, and to see the gaffer as well. Brilliant.
Before the game, not many people outside Highbury gave Arsenal a prayer of going to Anfield and getting 2 goals. You believed in the team. What was your thinking behind that? Why were you so confident?
Well, you're right. The 2 games previously, I mean, I genuinely thought we would win the trophy before we went to Anfield. I knew I had a great bunch of lads, hungry. You know, I brought quite a few of them to the club, and along with the great youth policy it was there at that time, we had a lot of young lads with great desire to do well. They wanted to learn, and I would add every confidence in them.
Of course, you did say 3-0, George, so you weren't quite on the money.
That was a little bit of psychology. I said to the lads, look, don't worry about the gung-ho situation. Everybody thinks we're going to go and attack them in the first half hour. Don't worry about it. Come in at half-time, 0-0, I'll be delighted. And that's what happened. But I genuinely thought we scored in the first 10-20 minutes. And then Liverpool could be nervous. Then we get the second one. And then I thought, they've got nothing to lose. They've got to come at us, all guns firing. And then we would nick another one, the third one at the finish. And I don't know if the players believed it. I mean, I didn't believe it. But I thought I'll put it over that way.
It's been a while before all the lads have got together. Since '89, I don't think we've all been back together again since, so 20 years, it's too long really.
Bob, good to see you here at Emirates Stadium tonight, and 2 very worthy causes we're here to support.
Yeah, the club's charity of the year, which is Teenage Cancer Trust, with Roger here representing them, and the Willow Foundation, which is represented obviously by myself. And funnily enough, the two, there's a real interlink between the two, because our age group, we specialise very uniquely in the age group 16 to 40 with our special days, and the only charity that really touches into our age group is obviously Teenage Cancer Trust, to a certain age group. We go up to 40, but they obviously they stop a little bit earlier. We do 2 different things entirely, but the causes, everybody knows just what Roger's charity does, and our growth has been phenomenal.
Well, I think it's a fantastic occasion. 20 years has gone very, very quickly, but to look back at that day, it's still very, very fond memories, and it's a pleasure to be here for both charities this evening as well.
What stands out when you look back at Anfield '89?
Well, it's so hard to describe. I mean, for me, joining Arsenal, it's my first league title. We should really have won the league before we had to go to Anfield. We almost choked a little bit, but having to go up there and get that 2-0 result was a massive achievement for the players and the club. And well, it's the greatest achievement that I've been involved in with the Arsenal Football Club.
What's your most vivid memory of that famous night?
It's actually going up there. There was about 58 people on our first team coach. There was VPs and shareholders, or about 86 that I hadn't seen for 20 years. And I had to get one of them to move out of my chair. When you're on your seat, when you're on the bus, you say, "Oi, I sit there." And it was very relaxed. It was very relaxed because we had to win by 2 clear goals. I think that took the pressure off. Because to go to Anfield and win, it's feasible. To go and win by 2 clear goals, it's virtually impossible. So the lads are really relaxed. I was enjoying watching the game from the bench. Then when Smudger scored, you think, oh, I was just about to get on, that'll be another 10 minutes before I get on. And to be fair, the gaffer had said at midweek, we'll play a sweeper, which everybody thought it was mad because you've got to score 2 goals to win and you're playing a sweeper. Get into half-time at 0-0. If we nick a goal, the pressure's on them and we'll score the second. And he didn't say it was in the 94th minute, so he got that one wrong. But other than that, he was the one who really believed it. If you asked most of the players, I think they hoped more than believed.
It was one of those free kicks that we used to practice on the training ground day in, day out, and which never used to come off on a match day. And we used to get so fed up because we thought, well, they never work, why do we bother? But, it did on that occasion. Me, Tony and Baldy would line up and, we'd peel off and, we were big lads, obviously 6'3" plus. Tony just threw himself at the ball, nowhere near it, but he acted as a diversion. And I just came in at the far stick and flicked it in, and, there was all the furor controversy about whether I touched it or whether I was offside, but I just helped it on its way, kind of didn't change direction the flight of the ball, I just helped it on its way. I got a good touch.
Was Mickey Thomas the perfect man to go through on goal in stoppage time?
100%. He was so laid back it was frightening. He could sleep on a razor blade, Tomo, and he'd missed a chance about 10 minutes before that, like a one-on-one, and it just shows to play for Arsenal Football Club you have to have a certain amount of ability, but you have to have a big mental strength. If anyone out of our team you'd want it to fall to, you want it to be Tomo. And even when I watch it now, I still think that the defenders are going to close in on him and tackle him. And I can remember in my head thinking, just shoot, Tomo, just shoot. Then he waited for Grobler to go to ground, fix it over him, and in my opinion, that is the greatest Arsenal goal ever.
Probably the most vivid one is crying my eyes out when Mickey Thomas scored. While I was on the pitch, I ran back to John Lukic and he was running towards me. He was the closest one. I just remember crying and jumping on him and then realising that we still had a game to play because the final whistle hadn't gone. So trying to wipe the tears out of my eyes before the kick-off was probably the scariest moment.
Because you had a vital role in that crucial goal.
Yeah, big lump upfield. I told John when he got the ball not to throw it to me because I thought the time was up and he should kick it. So I was literally running up the pitch, not wanting the ball, and I turned round and he threw it out to me. So I didn't really have much option. There was one ball on, and luckily it went straight to Smudger, and the rest is history, as they say.
I suppose Mickey Thomas's goal really, and the reaction of the crowd, the Arsenal supporters behind that goal. It was amazing, I had my dad and my brother at that end. Obviously I couldn't see them, but I knew they were there jumping up with everybody else, and it was just an amazing goal to win such an amazing trophy and an amazing time.
Arsenal are a great institution. They do history so well, don't they, nights like this?
They do. I mean, there is this continuity about the club, the tradition, the old players coming back. It's a special place, and one of the people we missed tonight is David Rocastle, big part of that team. I think he played in every game that year. But it's fantastic to see the old players back as well, and the way that the fans remember those moments and remember the players. There's a real affection in the room tonight.
Right, we left about 6 a.m. in the morning to get there. We're interviewed on ITV News because we were the only Arsenal fans around about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon.
We were there early. Yeah.
Everything, the memorial for Hillsborough, just no one believing we could actually do it. It's the equivalent of going to Old Trafford now, isn't it? And I don't think any of us believed it, but you know what? It was 2 goals and we thought we had a chance.
Sadly, I wasn't at Anfield. I was in the Isle of Harris, in the Outer Hebrides, and I'd booked a holiday, and there was no television there. So I had a friend who had one of these mini TVs. They've never really caught on, but he lent it to me, and I had to sit in the car at the end of the drive because I couldn't get a signal and watch it on my own. And when we scored the second goal, I ran up to the house and hammered on the window. All my friends were inside, they couldn't give a toss. And then we had to go in and open the whiskey and spend the rest of the night drinking.
The game took place on a Friday night. What night did the celebrations end?
Friday night the following week.
What did you get up to?
Well, to be quite honest, I mean, it's typical celebrations. You know, there's plenty of drinks flying around at that time. But I think I actually, when we got back to London, then actually came back into town later on that evening. But I think for me, it's more about the memories than the after occasion, if you like.
And raising some good money too for two great causes.
Yeah, very much so. That's the main reason why we're here is to raise money for the two charities, and obviously Teenage Cancer Trust and Bob Wilson's charity Willow is very close to the players' hearts.
400, thank you. 450, thank you. 500, thank you very much. 550 anywhere. 500 I've got.
Went absolutely fantastically well. You know, when you think that how things stand at the moment with the economy and everything, and people have already, you know, bought tables in record numbers for this event. They've put money in their pockets to get raffle tickets, and to come up, you know, there wasn't an item went tonight for less than £1,000. Absolutely fantastic. Obviously that's down to the generosity of the people who put the auction items in the first place, but it's been fantastic. And you know, Teenage Cancer Trust and the Willow Foundation, every penny goes to those two charities. You couldn't have asked for better.
Well, what a night it's been at Emirates Stadium. We've had lots of fun, lots of nostalgia, thousands of pounds have been raised for charity, and Arsenal's fans have had a chance to remember the night their team pulled off the most dramatic win in title history. Could it happen again? Maybe next season. Thanks for watching.